There's this recent book, The Nvidia Way by Take Him, that details this and how they look for future opportunities and ready their CUDA software libraries to make it so that new applications of high performance computing can very rapidly be evolved on CUDA and Nvidia chips. And that is entirely different than Google as a services business.
Yeah, I mean, Nvidia, it should be said, is a truly special company. Like, I mean, they're the culture, everything, they're really optimized for that kind of thing. Speaking of which, is there somebody that can even challenge Nvidia hardware wise? Intel, AMD.
I really don't think so. We went through a very long process of working with AMD on training on their GPUs and inference and stuff, and they're decent. Their hardware is better in many ways than Nvidia's. The problem is their software is really bad, and I think they're getting better, right? They're getting better faster, but the gulf is so large, and like they don't spend enough resources on it, or haven't historically, right? Maybe they're changing their tune now, but for multiple months we were submitting the most bugs, right? Like us, semi-analysis, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are we submitting the most bugs, right? Because they only cared about their like biggest customers, and so they'd ship them a private image, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, but like, I am just using PyTorch and I want to use the publicly available libraries, and like you don't care about that, right? So they're getting better, but like I think AMD is not possible. Intel's obviously in dire straits right now, and needs to be saved somehow. Very important for national security, for American technology dominance.
Can you explain the obviously? So why are they in dire straits?
Going back to earlier, only 3 companies can R&D, right? Taiwan, Hsinchu, Samsung, Pyongyang, and then Intel Hillsboro. Samsung's doing horribly, Intel's doing horribly. We could be in a world where there's only one company that can do R&D, and that one company already manufactures most of the chips. They've been gaining market share anyways, but like that's a critical thing, right? So what happens to Taiwan means the rest of the world's semiconductor industry, and therefore tech, relies on Taiwan, right? And that's obviously precarious. As far as like Intel, they've been slowly, steadily declining. They were on top of servers and PCs, but now Apple's done the M1, and Nvidia's releasing a PC chip, and Qualcomm's releasing a PC chip, and in servers, hyperscalers are all making their own ARM-based server chips, and Intel has no AI silicon like wins, right? They have very small wins. And they never got into mobile because they said no to the iPhone, and like all these things have compounded, and they've lost their process technology leadership, right? They were ahead for 20 years and now they're behind by at least a couple years, right? And they're trying to catch back up, and we'll see if like their 18A, 14A strategy works out where they try and leapfrog TSMC. But like, and Intel's just like losing tons of money anyways, right? And they just fired their CEO, even though the CEO was the only person who understood the company well, right? We'll see. He was not the best, but he was pretty good, relatively. Technical guy.
Where does Intel make most of its money? The CPUs still, right?
PCs and data center CPUs, yeah. But data center CPUs are all going cloud, and Amazon, Microsoft, Google are making ARM-based CPUs. And then PC side, AMD's gained market share. Nvidia's launching a chip. That's not going to be a success, right? MediaTek, Qualcomm have launched chips. Apple's doing well, right? Like they could get squeezed a little bit in PC, although PC generally, I imagine, will just stick Intel mostly for Windows side.
Let's talk about the broad AI race. Who do you think wins? We talked about Google.
The default leader has been Google because of their infrastructure advantage.
Well, like in the news, OpenAI is the leader.
Right? They're the leading in the narrative.
They have the best model.
They have the best model that people can use, and
they have the most AI revenue.
Yeah, OpenAI is winning.
So who's making money on AI right now? Is anyone making money?
So accounting profit-wise, Microsoft is making money, but they're spending a lot of CapEx, right? And that gets depreciated over years. Meta is making tons of money, but with recommendation systems, which is AI, but not with Llama, right? Llama's losing money for sure, right? I think Anthropic and OpenAI are obviously not making money because otherwise they wouldn't be raising money, right? They have to raise money to build more, right? Although theoretically they are making money, right?